All right, so I caught the fight a couple of hours ago. It was a decent fight. Pretty much ended the way I kind of expected it to. The funny part was my man Shannon Briggs showed up to the fight and was acting a certain way. That's the best way to put it. Let's go ahead and get into this. So Klitschko knocks Kubrat Pulev out in the 5th round. Now, a few things surprised me here, and a few things didn't. The one thing that didn't surprise me was what Kubrat Pulev was doing to end up getting knocked out, and it was exactly what I told you in my prediction, where he's got his right hand up, he's got his left foot forward, and he's got his left hand kind of in the at his midsection, and he's swinging that motherfucker around up and down, acting like he's gonna faint. Now, what he's normally doing against other fighters, he's doing this, and he comes with the jab out of these movements. He'll come with a jab, then he'll come with a straight cross. Now, the first 3 rounds, you didn't see that straight cross come. All you saw was him doing that shit with his left hand, with his jabbing hand, and then Klitschko coming in with a beautiful lead left hook. Now, in the first round, actually, let me say this, that left hook was the punch of the fight. It is what ended the fight. And it's what Klitschko was doing over and over again, and Kubrat Pulev could not stop it. In the first round, he knocked Pulev down twice with that same lead left hook. Once was out of a clinch, and the other one was immediately after the first knockdown. This was the crazy shit. He knocks Pulev down out of the clinch, comes with that lead left hook, boom, right across the chin, knocks Pulev down, right? Well, Pulev gets up, and as he gets up, he raises his left leg, and, to show Klitschko that his legs aren't wobbling, even though the motherfucker was wobbling like crazy before he did that. He stands on his left leg, and he sticks his tongue out at Klitschko, right? Then Tony Weeks says, fight, brings the 2 fighters in. Immediately, Klitschko comes with the same fucking punch, knocks him down again. And it's like, did you not learn from just 10 seconds ago, bruh? So, besides those 2 knockdowns, that round was uneventful. Pulev did absolutely nothing. There was a whole lot of holding. There's a whole lot of swinging of the lead hand. There's a whole lot of that. That was the first round. The second round, same thing. A lot of holding, a lot of the swinging of the left hand from Pulev. The one thing that did surprise me that was a good thing from Klitschko was that he was bouncing on his toes. Klitschko's usually a flat-footed fighter, and he's using his jab from a distance while he's planted. That's what Klitschko usually does. And then when guys engage him, he's moving back, with baby steps, and then he's dodging and weaving with his upper torso, but his legs are planted. That's Klitschko. That's what he does. But in this fight, he was bouncing around. He was bounced from side to side, forward to back. The lead left hook, that was excellent. That was excellent strategy. Very smart. He saw what Pulev was doing with that right hand, leaving that hole lazy, keeping it in between his midsection and his head, and so he just capitalized on that. Round 3, same as round 1. Only difference is it was only 1 damn knockdown instead of 2. Now, he did when Klitschko hit Pulev with that left hook, he did kind of push him down, and it sent Pulev sprawling across the ring. But see, he threw a wrench in there. Before he landed the left hook, he went over the top and hit him with a right hook first. And that's what hurt Pulev. That's what sent him stumbling across the ring. Then, Klitschko came up, hit him with a left hook, and then pushed him forward. And that's how he got knocked down. So, the first 3 rounds were a complete, it was just Klitschko demolishing Pulev, just picking him apart. Easy 3 rounds for Klitschko. But then round 4 happens. Maybe Pulev's corner was talking to him, telling him he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. Because when he came out, he started doing the jab. Same shit, waving his hand, right? But this time he was doing what he does against every other fighter. Like Tony the Tiger Thompson. Sorry, I had to get that Saget in there. Tony Thompson, he's throwing, he's waving the left hand, the jab, and then he comes in with the right. You know what I'm saying? He started doing that in round 4. And he hits Klitschko with 2 straight right hands, one of which hurt him. The first one he landed, Klitschko got Klitschko's attention. Klitschko actually, he hit him, then they got into a clinch. Then later on in the round, he hits him with it again, and Klitschko is like kind of staggering a little bit. I'm like, damn, he caught him. And that whole round, that's what that was. Pulev is actually shooting the jab instead of waving that shit. He's shooting it, and then he's shooting the right hand. So he actually won that round on my card. I think he won that round on the judges' card as well. And then the 5th round comes, and he's doing some of the same things. Now, granted, in the beginning of the 5th round, and this is something that I didn't like from Tony Weeks, Klitschko lands a right hook on Pulev, and Pulev staggers, but then he gains his composure and starts throwing combination punches, to try to keep that him staggering, that image of him staggering out of the judges' minds, and make it look like, I'm recovering now. See, I'm throwing punches. He starts doing that. Tony Weeks breaks it up. There was no clinch. Klitschko, I think he was kind of turned a little bit, but that's part of the sport. If you turn, that's your ass. You got to stay in front of your opponent. And Tony Weeks goes in there and breaks it up. I didn't like that. It didn't really matter ultimately in the end. I don't think Pulev would have knocked Klitschko out if Tony Weeks didn't break it up. But still, he took some shine away from Pulev in that moment. But, more holding, yada, yada, yada goes on. Well, then, after a little bit past the middle of the 5th round, Pulev does the same thing he does in round 4. But this one is devastating. He throws the jab, and see, the way he caught Klitschko this time, Klitschko was doing what I told you he does in my prediction, where he stands stagnant. Mind you, first 3 rounds, he's jumping on his toes. He's jumping around. And I think even in this round, he was jumping around. And in the 4th round, he was still bouncing around. But in this moment, he was doing what I said he always does. He plants his feet, has his head straight up, right? Has his right hand up, and he keeps his left hand out there, his jabbing hand, and he's waving it around into the opponent's face and shit. And then sometimes if the opponent gets too close, he'll bring his right hand out, and that's what ends up being a push, him pushing them off. Well, he attempted to do that at the same time that Pulev is doing the jab cross combination. Well, when Klitschko let his right hand go in front of him to try to push off, he gets caught by the right cross. And Klitschko actually kind of limps forward after getting caught. Definitely staggered. And then he holds Pulev. Now that was the best punch for Pulev of the night, right? But unfortunately, right after this is what you see happen. Immediately after Klitschko is staggered and holds Pulev, Tony Weeks breaks it up. Soon as Tony Weeks tells him to come in and fight, Klitschko comes with the same damn punch that knocked Pulev down 3 times in this fight. The lead left hook, only this one knocked his ass out completely, laid out on his back. So, basically, the story of this fight is that Pulev had no answer for the lead left hook. It was a wrench thrown in the plans. I really don't see Klitschko doing lead left hooks. He usually leads with the jab. His go-to punch is the jab. That's how he sets his people up. That's how he baits them on the inside so he can land devastating punches as they're coming towards him. But instead, he's leading and coming forward with a left hook. I'm really surprised by that. It was a good game plan. It got Pulev. It kept him guessing. He didn't know what to do. As you can see in this picture, where's his right hand at? Down below. So, decent fight. My prediction was Klitschko by unanimous decision. I thought that Pulev
Could last at least till 8. I also said if it was going to be a knockout, Klitschko would knock him out in the 8th round. And it looked like he could have, because in the 4th round he started turning it around by throwing those, his right crosses. But he's not a smart enough boxer to where he can adjust when his opponent has a game plan that's working against him. He doesn't know how to adjust to that. So that's the fight. But here's the comic relief. Now, I caught this fight on a German stream. So Shannon Briggs was at the fight. He was actually interviewed. I couldn't really catch everything he was saying because there was translators that were talking over him in German. But the one thing I did catch and that I actually agree with is that he said Pulev was stupid for trying to fight Klitschko from the outside. And this is exactly what I was saying in my prediction. The only way to beat Wladimir Klitschko is what Lemon Brewster did, and Corey Saunders slipped a jab and land a devastating blow on the inside, because Klitschko's not a great inside fighter. As you can see if you watch this fight, every time the two come on the inside, Klitschko's holding. He's not a great inside fighter. So if you can get on the inside and touch his chin, that's how Lemon Brewster and Corey Saunders got the knockout. So I agree with Shannon Briggs saying that it was a dumb decision to try to out-jab Wladimir Klitschko. But that's Pulev's game. I said in my prediction he would have to do something that he doesn't do, which is get on the inside and start throwing bombs. He doesn't do that. He's a jabber. I said this will be a jabbing contest, and it was, to an extent. Klitschko found a niche and started landing that left hook, or was throwing the left hook. But Klitschko he had a different strategy. Pulev was still trying to do his jabbing contest shit. That's what he was doing. And that's what Shannon Briggs got to understand. That's what Pulev does, man. That's his game. That's why I didn't give him a chance in this fight. But yeah, I would like to see Klitschko fight Deontay Wilder, maybe a Bryant Jennings. I kind of want to see him fight Bermane Stiverne. The only thing, man, like I said in an earlier video, is Bermane Stiverne is just stagnant, man. He he is the epitome of slow footwork. It's so slow that he doesn't move. I mean, I'm kind of intrigued to see how a master counterpuncher like Bermane Stiverne would do against Klitschko. But if Klitschko's bouncing on his toes like he did against Pulev, and really to beat Stiverne, he just needs to incorporate his jab and straight cross combination. I think Klitschko beats Bermane Stiverne, but I would like him to fight Bryant Jennings, Deontay Wilder, even a Mike Perez. I would like to see that. I don't want to see him fight Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs already got beat by Vitaly Klitschko rather easily. It was a 12-round unanimous decision. I mean, I remember hearing something about the dude going to the fucking hospital and trying to sue Vitaly Klitschko because he gave the cat like a migraine or a concussion or some shit, and trying to sue him because he hits too fucking hard. It's old news. I can't really remember, but it was something to that effect. I mean, like I said, granted, Vitaly's better than Wladimir, but I mean, why the fuck? I don't want to see this old ass cat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at his beard. His beard is great, son. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's 77 years old. I don't want to see this cat fight Wladimir. I'm trying to see Wladimir fight the best fighters in the division, not some old ass washed up has been. Granted, he still got power, but man, he just gonna get out jabbed the whole damn fight. It'd be a waste of time. And then at the end of this fight, there's you see. They had the camera on Shannon Briggs while Wladimir Klitschko was celebrating, in the ring and posing for his fans. Shannon Briggs is trying to run after the cat. You know what I'm saying? You got two security guards holding him back, and he's trying to run into the ring and try to ambush Wladimir. I mean, I'm surprised the motherfucker didn't have, cardiac arrest and shit, how old the cat is. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get into the ring like that. It's just not a fight I want to see. But it was a decent fight. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this. Do what you do in the comments section. But be real. This is real talk for real fans. 1.